Everyone, to the City Outskirts Tournament Expert Division Weekend Round, hole number 1. This is our send it shot for hole number 1. You can use pretty much any P5 ball, but I would definitely recommend Wind 3 Plus if you have it. You could probably get away with a Wind 2 here. Not so sure about a Zerk. I've tested this with Wind 3 and Wind 4, and I'm going to show you both of those now. So because we have some massive wind angle differences here, in order to prevent us from not clipping the rough and, rolling long, giving ourselves some kind of crazy putt, what we're going to need to do is pay attention to the amount of rings of overpower that we pull into on this adjustment, which is a little bit of a pain in the ass, but it's the best way to get consistency as far as clipping the rough, rolling out, and leaving ourselves an in-bringer shot, which is what we're trying to do here. The adjustment for the drive is P5 plus 10% max. Our base spin is 5.5 top spin and 2 right spin. No curl, full overpower. APOC 5 and 6. You're going to have 2/3 of the blue ring in the right rough at P5 max rest. APOC 7 is 1/3 of the blue ring in the right rough, like you see here at P5 max rest. And then APOC 8 is blue ring touching the right rough at P5 max rest. Now, if you noticed, I'm zoomed way out here. And the reason I'm zoomed out is because the take shot button kind of gets in your way from seeing your rings. So you kind of need to zoom out pretty far to be able to see how much overpower you're pulling into. So we're going to do it based on rings because every club is different. But your ring sizes are a good way to judge this. So even if you have like APOC 5 and your rings are a little bit bigger, you're going to be pushing up or pulling back based on, the number of rings you pull into with that club. So it should work across all club levels. Our base amount of OP that we want to pull into is 3 rings. Anything less than 3 rings, you need to push back towards the tee. So in this case, if I only pull 1 ring into overpower, then I need to push back towards the tee 2 rings, right? And that's going to keep us from landing long and missing the rough with our second bounce, right? So we can keep the same spin set. We're just going to need to pull back for these crosswind angles and low winds. You'll need to pull back towards the tee to make sure that you don't miss the rough with your second bounce. So that's what I'm looking at, just so you know. So there I pulled about 1 ring of overpower. So I'm going to pull back towards the tee 2 rings here. Like I said, the base spin is always 5.5 top, 2 right. Full overpower, no curl. Do your best to hit perfect. And you should land nicely on the pad, bounce up, clip the rough, roll out, and leave yourself an in-bringer shot for the eagle. So I know it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to kind of pay attention to the rings of overpower you're pulling into, but it's really the only way without adding a million different tweaks to kind of simplify this shot and still make sure that with different wind strengths and different wind angles, we always clip the rough and roll out. You don't want to miss the rough. There's if you miss the rough, there's a chance you catch a speed roll and roll off the back of the green. So we're just trying to make it to where that doesn't happen. So beyond that, the Endbringer shot plays P5 plus 25% using the EB rule, and we're always going to use 2 left spin. Okay, so your Endbringer shot, always P5 plus 25, and we're always using 2 left spin, and that's because the green slopes to the left or to the right, and if you don't use any spin, you get that curling ball guide, and that ball guide tends to lie a bit. So it's still the standard Endbringer rule. The only difference is we're using 2 left spin instead of none. All right. Make sure you don't get a glitch. Pull straight, hit perfect. You should be walking away from this one with a very easy eagle using P5, wind 3, 4, and even 5. Now, I've only tested 3 and 4, but wind 2 and wind 5 balls should also work here. Make sure that when you're playing your Endbringer shot, that the tip of your ball guide is through the back of the hole by at least a cup. Don't want to come up short on this one. All right, that's it. That is your Luminary and your Wind 4. Send it option for hole number 1. Best of luck. I hope you all get the drops, and we'll catch you on the next one.